Hi everybody, it's Laura at Sheer Passion. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk about something that's really interesting to me, the gym. So many people have so many things to say about the gym. You know, it has this bad connotation that everybody who goes there is vain, or everybody who goes there is wasting their time. But I want to share something with you that I have learned over the last 17 years about the gym. The gym is a place where people go and can work on themselves and become a better part of themselves. But one of the things that I've learned is that it can be one of the most intimidating places because looking your best and feeling your best is completely connected to self-worth. Our value comes from our Creator God, and we really start to understand our value when we think rationally about why a Creator would send Himself to the world in human form to redeem us all. So when you really think deeply about creating something so special, that you would make sure that all of the bases are covered because you gave them something called free will. We can genuinely choose what we would like. That's what's so neat about our Creator, is we're all so unique and we're all so individual. But because He gave us free will, a lot of us would choose wrong, and a lot of us would choose poorly, allowing us at the end of our life not to have the life that He intended us to have. And so the gym in real time is really a place where most of us can go and work on ourselves. But you know, a lot of places in the world that's considered vanity, right? I say it's sanity. I don't think it's vanity, I think it's sanity. I don't think God created junk. I think God created all people to have great lives. But I think He gave us His word to let us know that we wouldn't all choose that way. And even though that was His intentions, He knew that free will would set in and we would all make our own decisions. I think it's wonderful that so many of you out there are healthy and are successful. And then there are some of us out here who had to take that journey a little differently. And then there's a few of us out here, wouldn't you agree, that really have never been on that journey at all? That health is not something that we have, it's not something that we crave, and it's not something that we think we deserve. And that makes me sad, because then that puts down our value. No matter how much self-worth I have, that's one thing I cannot give to you. And no matter how much I tell you about how I built that self-worth in myself, if you choose not to take those same steps, it won't arrive. And it doesn't just get delivered with the post mail. So back to the gym. My gym family is fabulous, and I have learned over the years that my eyes are drawn to linear lines of beauty and sassiness and sexiness, and those are all things in my flesh, and I get that. But you know, a lot of the journey is just creating a family environment, a community, a place where people come to reveal the best part of themselves while gaining a spiritual understanding, an emotional understanding, a physical change during that hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour time period that you're there. But more importantly, people who will wave and smile and make them feel like they are a part of something. You know, you walk into big institutions, and if you walk into big institutions without being able to like yourself and understand that you put yourself together, find yourself attractive, you don't need to be compared to anybody else on the planet, but just attractive and well kept. Places like the gym, when you're walking into the gym and people ignore you, you begin to fade into the background. You begin to feel like you're not a part of something. You begin to believe, without anybody saying it out loud, that you don't matter, even though none of those things are true, and none of those things will ever be true, but they can be true to you. And even though I can tell you that you are absolutely awesome and phenomenal, and that you will add wonderful things and laughter and support in any community that you live in, if you do not live here that way, you will never live out those doors that way. And so when you go into large institutions and places that can be intimidating, like grocery stores and gyms, churches, you won't feel like you are there to give. You will feel like you are to be given something. How can we all wait for someone to give us a smile? Instead of be the person that smiles, and all of a sudden you're the person who's given smiles back. Because when you give something knowing that you're fully giving of yourself, before you know it, when you give a hug, you get a hug back. When you genuinely hug somebody else will hug back. When you genuinely give a smile and you really mean it, and it's not politically correct and it's not the thing you do because they looked at you, when you really are giving the smile, you get a smile back. My gym family has been so important to me for the last 18 years. And no matter where I go, people remember that I'm the perky one, that I'm the bubbly one, that I'm the outgoing one. You know, over the years, I've changed my size often. I've refined my muscle structure often. And yet nobody seems to remember my size. They just remember how I act and how I treat. When we start to think about people, over the years, as you refine yourself and you reveal who you really want to be, the thing that people are most connected to is the way you made them feel. Do they feel good around you? Do they feel comfortable around you? My prayer is that everybody would start to work on their self-worth. And so that everywhere we go, like gyms, we would walk in there remembering that we are not there for vanity, but we are there to reveal our sanity. We are there to take back the fact that we all have value, and I don't know how we're going to run our lives without making sure we're running ourselves first. And when we go with a joyful heart to say, I'm going to go give a smile to someone else today, and I'm going to be the person who gets smiles back. And no matter what I walk into that gym with, I'm going to walk in with the best of myself. That is my prayer for all of us. Remembering that it is our job to create an environment for ourselves that we can thrive in while remaining in a society that says if we're all thriving, we're all thriving. And if we're there to support one another, we can begin to support in a healthy way to say, there will be times where we're down. Absolutely. But for the most part, we're going to be intentional about making sure that nothing gets completely out of whack. And I want you to know that all of us are important enough to fight for that. As we work and reveal and refine and define our bodies mentally, physically, and spiritually, we gain an entire package that allows us to walk into any place and to accept that we're not perfect, but we're trying to be better. And that requires intention. That requires proactive behavior of what we're going to eat, when we're going to eat, to provide meals for ourselves, to hydrate ourselves, to mark out that time to go to the gym or walk or take care of our bodies. Not everyone has to go to a gym, but we definitely have to move our body. So some of us might have jobs that require that, but then remember, if you want to grow and you want to be strengthened, you have to take what you're doing and bring it up a notch. Gyms are one of the most amazing places to be a part of. They're so much fun. I call it my gym family. I've been able to get my husband and my stepson to see that when we arrive, the fun that we have as a family literally bleeds out into the people. And they feel it. And they want to be a part of that. And they want to know the difference. That can be your walk. That can be your life. You know, whether I live a year or 2 years from today, time is going to continually tick away whether or not I make good decisions on taking care of my body. And isn't it funny that almost 36 years have passed, and each day that I choose to be the woman that I want to be, I've continually walked closer and closer and closer to finding her. I've been trying to slough off my childhood yuckiness of overeating, not eating the right things, not taking time for myself. And that has been so difficult. So I want to applaud anyone here listening to the video. I'm right there with you. It is not easy. And there are still things I don't accept about my body that I feel I never accepted about my body, because those were things I learned as a child. And by the time that I was 16 years old, coming in at 287 pounds, I had no business weighing that kind of weight. But my parents were incapable of getting a hold of themselves and keeping themselves accountable and learning that food is to nourish, not to be a coping mechanism. Gyms are just another place where people can be real and start to reveal themselves. And when you walk in, if you are walking into a place where no one says hello, it doesn't surprise me that you're not drawn to coming back. So I want you to know that I want to challenge all of us out there at gyms to remember that when we walk in that door, we are there to bless others. We are there to reveal our self-worth and value to ourselves and allow that to bleed out into the people and bring us all up. That is what we need to be doing. That's what I'm leaving you with. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check out the blog and share my videos, guys. Thanks so much.